we go. Another Star Wars hot take. This one comes from Reddit. Nobody cares about Palpatine. That one of the biggest issues of Star Wars is that they keep going all in on Palpatine. I mean, who gave a F about the paint-by-numbers evil Emperor during the OG trilogy? He should have been a Force ghost during Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, some dark presence subtly messing with the universe, but not truly alive. Force ghost for Sith don't work. They possess objects. So, okay. No one cares about Palpatine. I think a lot of people care about Palpatine. Palpatine is one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars and the most powerful. Now, if you haven't read the Plagueis book, of course, you're not going to be all that interested in Palpatine. You'll be like, well, he's just a wrinkly old, dude at the end of the original trilogy. Until we go to the prequels and we try to find more. But this is the guy who literally changed the course of the Jedi after 1,000 years. Imagine 1,000 years of peace. This guy comes in, changes the whole game with 2 people. Like, how much of a genius do you have to be? How patient do you have to be? This is the true form of the Sith. And I think that in it of itself, and how he played the war on both different sides, and how he manipulated Anakin and got the most powerful Jedi by his side, really, like, who would not want to know about this guy? And he shoots Force lightning. He's the first guy that shot Force lightning in Star Wars that we know of. So, at least in the films. So for me, I think Palpatine is probably one of the most interesting characters. And you have Darth Vader, and this is the cool thing. You have Darth Vader that's set up as one of the most badass dudes in the original trilogy. And then you have someone that he bows to. What is thy bidding, my master? I mean, how does it get more interesting than that? And that was something that was so interesting with The Force Awakens was like, holy crap, the Emperor's dead, but who do we have now? We have Snoke. Okay, who is this guy? How did he survive when the Emperor didn't? Why is he so old? Why is he so deformed looking? What's the deal? Why is his hologram so big? He's got a cool voice. What species is he? A lot of questions that just turned out to be literally useless and pointless because he's a clone, because the writing for that was disjointed and they didn't really care. But my thoughts on this, no one cares about Palpatine. I don't know who the heck said that, but I guess Prinny Roms on Reddit. But I think Palpatine's one of the most interesting characters. So for me, really, there isn't too much more to go into detail on this one. But yeah, Palpatine is the GOAT, dude. He's literally the strongest and most powerful Sith, in my opinion, and the most cunning and smart, which is the same thing. But yeah, I mean, without him, we wouldn't have had Maul, Dooku. He coerced Dooku into being the leader of the Separatists. He was the one who designed Grievous, right? He had Dooku shoot down Grievous's ship when he was a Kaleesh. He was an organic being. And put him together with cybernetic parts. Then he had Vader turn to the dark side by literally, like the course of, I would say since he was 9, 13 years for Anakin to be turned and manipulated to the dark side because he was so patient and just pulled on those strings like crazy. Then you have him engineering the entire death of Padme's mother. And this was actually supposed to be in the original script for episode 3. And it's also in one of the books. I remember I made a video on it. But anyways, he is one of the most manipulative, psychotic, powerful, patient, and overall badass characters in Star Wars. He is the Emperor of the Galaxy. And when you compare him to other fictional villains, he is at the top, at the peak. I don't think there's anybody that could compete with him. So in terms of coolness and overall just outsmarting him, it doesn't really happen. And you might argue that. You'd be like, well, he died so easily. That's because he was so powerful and he focused so much of his rage into Luke when he was killing him that he was blindsided to the Force. He did not see Vader's betrayal. And by the time Vader put him up, he was so enraged with Vader's betrayal that he just didn't focus and he was just full of black energy, just shooting everywhere. And that was the problem. But, then we get episode 9 and he transferred his essence before he hit the bottom. Bullshit. I don't buy into it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. Do you care about the Emperor or not? Thank you, and may the Force be with you always.